Hello. So much later today than normal because I've had a busy day. It's been a really great day with coaching and doing to events and things. So it's been really awesome. So that's why it's later today. But today I want to talk about white space and intuition. Now, what do I mean by white space? White space is when we put some time in our calendar for thinking time or for planning time to allow our intuition, that greatest cheerleader we have, to pop up with an amazing ideas. Now, I've been talking to a lot of clients about this, the power of creating white space in your calendar. So you ring fence meetings. So what I mean by that is you block off time before a meeting, block off time after the meeting. And I know you'll say, I've got too much in my diary, I can't do that. But the power of blocking off time to prepare, what's the intention for the meeting, and blocking off time after the meeting to all the email follow-up, etc., so that actually that time is contained, and then you can be fresh for the next meeting because you actually cleared your brain of that meeting to move on to the next meeting. So that's one aspect of white space. But white space, what I'm really talking about, is having time to think. We work so hard. We have back-to-back meetings. We have so much to fill in our day that often we don't have time to think. Now, our intuition is our greatest cheerleader. It's always there within us. However, sometimes it's just a little whisper and it's not shouting loudly, like those gremlins on our shoulder telling us not good enough, all those negative thinking. That can be a really loud voice in our heads. And that the gremlins always start with questions, often why? Why are you so stupid? Why didn't you speak up then? Why? Very judgmental, and lots of criticism and lots of comparison to others, which is always a disaster. So our intuition is that little whisper that we don't often hear, that knows all the right answers, that starts with how and what, curiosity, to think, how can I make this better? What do I need to do next? And therefore we can get some incredible insights. Now, I know if I sit quietly for, even if it's 10 minutes or even 20 minutes, even just a short space of time, if I've got a problem I need to resolve, I will get more clarity in that 10 minutes by sitting quietly to listen to my intuition than I would spending hours trying to work it out, the pros and the cons. Because our intuition is coming very much from our subconscious. It's coming from that creative place in our brain that knows all the answers. However, when we're busy and we're frenetically working, it blocks off that creativity. We're in a sort of a semi-state of fear, fight, and flight. And when we're in fear, fight, and flight, it's designed from when we were millions of years ago, chasing tigers, or tigers were chasing us. And therefore, our brain cut off any creativity because our brain doesn't want to think, oh, don't fancy it today. Can you come back another day when I feel like it? No, because you'd be dead. So now so what happens in the fear, fight, flight? As a safety mechanism, it stops all our thinking. So we just sprint for our life, literally. But now it's not sprinting for our life, hopefully, where you are. Although I do appreciate it's a really challenging time right now. But generally, it's a question of emails, deadlines, meetings, picking up the kids, whatever it is. There's a whole load of plethora of deadlines that we need to fit in. And so therefore, we're in that same energy of fear, fight, and flight. So therefore, we don't have that same sense of our intuition shouting and there to give us the right answers. So sometimes we have to make sure we create that time, block it off in your calendar. And actually, sometimes it doesn't even to be sitting quietly. I find I get great insight when I'm ploughing up and down the pool. It could be going for a walk. It could be being in fresh air. It could be just sitting down with a cup of tea or whatever. There's lots of ways. We're all very individual and it will work differently for different people. So have a think about where you get your greatest insight. And if you're like me, when you go on holiday, I get amazing light bulb moments because I'm relaxed. I'm not stressed. My brain, my intuition can pop up. I've got all those creative juices in my brain that are coming out. So I'm always sitting by the pool with a notepad and think, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea. That's another good idea. And then you can reflect whether it is a good idea or not. So lots, you can see my book there. My book, there's lots of tips and tools on this. So you can buy that on Amazon. I'll put the link in the chat. And if you want to know a bit more, let's have a conversation, because I guarantee when we listen to our intuition, magic happens, and it's always there within us. Our cheerleader is always there, but often we don't listen to it because we're too busy thinking about the other stuff that needs to go on. So take care. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.